Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another super easy, super delicious keto cookie recipe for you. Today I am going to show you guys how to make keto caramel delights, or if you're a Girl Scout cookie fan, they're also known as Samoas. This is a super easy recipe, very quick, very tasty, and if you want a printable version of it, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, low-carb, delicious recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper. In a large mixing bowl, combine 58 grams or a half cup of coconut flour, 8 grams or 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 gram or 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 45 grams or 1/4 cup of golden monk fruit sweetener or brown sugar sweetener of your choice, and 46 grams or 1/4 cup of classic monk fruit sweetener or granulated sweetener of your choice. Sift or whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. You can also adjust the sweetener according to your taste. You can use more or less depending on how sweet you want your cookies. Add 2 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in more smooth. Stir the eggs into your dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients have been moistened. Add a half cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is cooled. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Stir these all together until everything is fully combined and you have a very moist, smooth dough that has formed. Once the dough is all mixed together, shape it into a ball. Then massage the ball for about 1 minute so that the dough can absorb any excess moisture. When you first are massaging this, your dough is going to be very moist, but it still should not be sticking to your fingers at all. And as you massage it, you will feel that some of the moisture will be getting absorbed into the dough. You still are going to have a moist dough at the end of massaging it for a minute, but it will not be as moist as when you first started. Once you've massaged it for 1 minute, you'll still have a moist dough. Roll it back into a ball and place it back into your mixing bowl. Then place it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes. This is going to help firm up the dough so that it keeps its shape better when you shape your cookies on your baking sheet. After 5 minutes, remove the dough from the refrigerator and massage it just a couple times in your hands. This is just to make sure of the texture. You want to make sure that the dough didn't dry out too much in the refrigerator. So as you're massaging it, you should still feel moisture in the dough, but again, it should not be sticking to your fingers and it should not be crumbly. Once you've massaged the dough and made sure of the texture, place it back into your mixing bowl. Scoop the dough out 1 tablespoon at a time onto your prepared baking sheet. Roll each dough scoop into a tight, smooth ball. Then press each dough ball into a circle of your desired size and thickness. Now you can shape these cookies into whatever size you think you are going to want. These spread very slightly and they puff up very slightly. So pretty much whatever shape and thickness you put them on your baking sheet, for the most part, that is what they are going to turn out to be. The main thing to make sure of is that your circles are the same thickness. That way you get an even cook. You don't want one thick cookie and one thin cookie. They won't cook evenly. So make sure they are the same thickness. Once you've flattened them into a circle, press your finger into the center of the circle and push out just slightly so that you create a hole in the center of each one of the dough circles. The circle should be maybe a dime size. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but you do want a little bit of a hole to create that classic caramel delight look. When you do press out the hole, make sure that the edges of your cookie are not cracking. If they are, just press them together really lightly. You want to make sure that your edges are all smooth so that your cookie comes out smooth and not crumbly. Once your cookies are all shaped, Place them in your preheated oven. Bake them at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes or until they are lightly golden. Once the cookies are golden, remove them from the oven. They still will be soft, but they will firm up as they cool. So allow them to cool on the pan for about 10 minutes. After they've cooled on the pan for about 10 minutes and they've firmed up a bit, transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before coating your cookies. Once the cookies have cooled, we're going to make a very quick caramel coconut topping. In a small microwave-safe bowl or a large microwave-safe measuring cup, place 6 tablespoons of butter. I like to cut it up in 2 tablespoon segments, that way it melts faster. Then place it in the microwave and microwave on high in 15-second intervals until the butter is completely melted and slightly foamy on top. Make sure that you use a fork and stir after every 15 seconds so that your butter does not burn. Once the butter is fully melted, add about 99 grams or roughly a half cup of brown monk fruit allulose blend or brown sugar sweetener of your choice. Use a fork and stir the butter and the sweetener all together until they're fully combined and smooth. You want to stir this for a good 20-30 seconds because you really want to make sure that that sweetener is 100% dissolved. For the best texture and taste, the brown monk fruit allulose blend will give you the smoothest texture and the best taste, but any brown sugar sweetener will work. Just really get in there with that fork, make sure it fully dissolves. Set that aside for just 1 second. In a medium bowl, place roughly 100 grams or 1 1/4 cups of shredded coconut. Then add about 1/3 cup of that caramel sauce that you just made. It should still be warm. You don't want to wait for it to cool all the way or anything. You do this immediately. Use your fork and stir the caramel and the coconut all together until they're fully combined and all the coconut shreds have been coated with the caramel. If you need to, you can use your fingers a bit to massage it all together. You just want to make sure that all that coconut has been coated with the caramel. You should still have some caramel left in your bowl or your measuring cup, whichever one you use to make it in. Once your caramel and your coconut have been fully mixed together, take your cup or bowl that has the leftover caramel in it, spread a half teaspoon of the plain caramel over your cooled cookies. This is just going to give a little bit of a sticky base so that the caramel coconut topping sticks better to your cookie. So spread that half teaspoon around a little bit. Make sure you keep the hole in the center of the cookie opened. Scoop about 1 tablespoon of the coconut caramel topping onto the plain caramel. Then press down lightly so that it sticks to the top of your cookie. Once all your cookies have been topped with the caramel and coconut topping, place them in your refrigerator for about 10 minutes or until the topping has firmed up. After the 10 minutes, in a small bowl, place about 200 grams or 1 cup of Keto chocolate chips and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. Microwave on high in about 15 to 20 second intervals until the chocolate chips are fully melted. Make sure you stir after every 15-second interval. That way your chocolate does not burn. Once the chocolate chips are melted, make sure you use a fork and stir it together to make sure that the coconut oil and the chocolate chips are fully combined. Then remove your cookies from the refrigerator. Dip the bottom of your cookies one at a time in the melted chocolate. If you need to, use a fork and spread the chocolate a little bit to make sure that it does fully coat the bottom. Again, try to keep the hole open as much as you can. Then place it upside down onto your lined baking sheet. Once all the bottoms of the cookies are coated with chocolate, place it in your freezer and freeze for about 10 minutes or until the chocolate is firm. After 10 minutes, take the remaining chocolate that's in your bowl, add another teaspoon of coconut oil, and pop it into the microwave for about 15 seconds just to remelt it and make it all warm again. Use your fork and stir it completely so that the oil is fully combined. Then remove the cookies from the freezer. The chocolate on the bottom of the cookies should be nice and firm. Turn the cookies right side up again, where the coconut's on top. Then use a spoon and drizzle the chocolate in lines across the top of your cookies. Once all the chocolate has been drizzled over the cookies, then place it in your refrigerator for another 5 minutes or until the chocolate has firmed up. Once the chocolate's firm, remove it from your refrigerator. Place the cookies on a serving platter of your choice. You can eat them immediately if you do have any leftovers. Store them in an airtight container. You can store them either in the refrigerator or at room temperature. I would suggest probably the refrigerator, only because if you leave them at room temperature, depending on how hot your house is, the chocolate could melt. So I always store mine in the refrigerator. You can keep them for up to 1 week. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.